5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 edition of 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler.
I thought you was going to say 20 years.
It might be longer than 20 years.
You know what? Speaking of 20 years, before we start,
yes.
Congratulations to you and Janet.
Oh, thank you.
She's my favorite over you because she's nicer. And she laughed at all my jokes.
Yeah.
But congratulations.
Thanks. 20 years. Yep.
That's amazing.
On Labor Day.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, we've been laboring.
Yeah.
20 years.
I like her because you think about labor, Janet always fights for the little people, and I love her for that. So Thank you. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate it.
And speaking of serving the people, you are now a member of the Green Bay Packers Board of Directors.
Yes.
Ooh.
Now think about this, and I met you over 30 years ago, it seemed like.
Yeah.
When I was a player, you covered me, you and Pete Doherty. To think going from that to on the board, I never would have guessed that would have been possible.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing because I love helping the community, and helping people raise money is tough. So when you have a lot of nonprofits with the Green Bay Packer Foundation, and you can help a lot of these nonprofits and just charities, I love that.
Yeah.
So this gives me a bigger platform to do that. So I'm honored. But I know what people are thinking. Well, you're on the board. How can you still do this show? Oh, I'm doing the show. I mean, two things can be true. I invented that slogan. You can be on the board and be critical of the Packers when need be.
Yeah.
You just don't need to go over the top and just start making stuff up. But you can. I think that's a healthy argument if there's something you disagree with, as far as the team. As far as drafting players, Gutekunst does a great job with that. So I don't have any inside information. This is all stuff Tom told me. So
yeah, right.
I'll be speaking on my
Well, you
behalf.
speak your mind in the meetings because that's more. You'll please your fans the most if you speak your mind in the meetings. Yeah. But enough about us. People really want to know about the 2023 Packers and what this season is going to be. And I'm not sure either of us knows what this season's going to bring. For the first year with someone other than Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, first time since 1992.
Wow.
That's a pretty darn long time. And now, we had a whole summer to evaluate Jordan Love, a lot of practices, got to see him in a lot of different situations. And what's your initial feeling about what they have? Like, what's the possibilities they have with him?
Here's the thing. They're the youngest team in the league. And I think they're averaging about 25 years old. And, some people could say, well, David Bakhtiari was arguing that it's a rebuild. I mean, he mentioned that. And sometimes rebuild is not necessarily age, but it's experience. When you think about winning games, you think about the most experienced team wins. That's not necessarily true sometimes because you had a Hall of Fame quarterback. I said I wasn't going to bring this up, but I have to as a part of my therapy. You had a Hall of Fame quarterback last year, and you just assume you win games. But it doesn't happen that way because you got Detroit on the line at home, the weather, everything to get into the playoffs, and wasn't able to get it done.
Yeah.
So that was the last time people saw the team for a regular season big game. So I would just tell people this, because when people see me in Pick and Save Metro Market, they always come up to me, how's Jordan Love going to be? And you're correct, we don't know. But the people who do know is the coaching staff. And I have a lot of confidence in the coaching staff.
They have an idea, and I think we can judge him based on observations.
You said Love or the head coach?
Love.
Okay, let's stick to Love.
Let's look at some observations. I'll start with one. Yeah. I think he's very even-keeled, like not rattled real easily. Since I've seen him in every game, he's just got that personality. Now, I'm not saying that's maybe you need to be more fired up than he is, but maybe not. Maybe the fact that he just doesn't seem to get really rattled about anything is a good characteristic.
Yeah.
That's what stands out to me about him. What stands out to you about
I think
him?
you're correct about that, because you're going from somebody that sucked all of the oxygen out of the room. It was my way.
Right.
It was a me, get accustomed to me. These are the plays I like. I don't like motion. I want to do this. It's me. Now you get a guy saying, team. We got to do it together. So I would rather for him to just be his own guy. I talked to Peyton Manning, and him and Peyton had a chance to interact, and Peyton gave him some great advice, Tom. He said, tell the coaches how you want to be coached. You want to be coached hard, or you want to be kind of left alone, or somewhere in the middle. And once you get that down, that's when coaches give you the best information to perform.
Yeah.
Because he has the talent. But we got to know, during 2 minutes, what do you like to do? You know, that's when I judge quarterbacks. And I had a conversation with, I hate to name drop, Steve Young, who's one of my best friends. And I said, what's the biggest thing that you feel that's all on you? 2-minute drill. Because I got to get everybody lined up. I got to get the protection. I got to let Aaron Jones know, hey, if that guy comes, I may want to do a screen. I got to give you all the mannerisms outside to all the wide receivers. I got to let Musgrave know, hey, man, do it. What does that mean? That means a stick and go. I got to do all of that in like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And then know when to call a timeout. A lot of that is going to be on himself. But the last thing I'll say, the most important person to me is him and Josh Myers, the center. Because I got to know when it's a hard count. When I want it, I really don't want it. I'm trying to draw him off or see if he was leaning. But when the clock's down to 10, 9, 8, give it to me, I may not even want it then.
Yeah.
Because we see the clock too, and I'll just take off. And then I'm going to go to a timeout, but you know, I want Reed to run out and up, or a go route, or if number 9, man-to-man by himself, you're getting the ball. He got to go through all those mannerisms.
Right.
And the coaches can't help him with that.
So what, from a physical standpoint, did you like in terms of his throws, in terms
Great
of
question.
his
Great question.
movability, in terms of, you know,
Ball handling.
ball fakes, those kind of things?
Yes.
What stood out to you?
See,
what do you think he needs to work on?
This is when you're a journalist, not Tom. Because that's a good question. Because fans,
I'm always a journalist.
No, you're not.
I'm Tom.
Could you just be
this percent of the time?
Because you trigger me and ask
ahead.
me all kind of
Go ahead.
questions.
Go ahead.
Then I start to filibuster. But really, fans don't see what you see because you're at every practice. When he actually hands the ball off, do you carry your fake out to set up a play down the line? Or does he kind of loafs? He works at it, Tom. Every fake, watch it. You don't know if he gave it to 28 or 33, and you don't know. That's the first thing I saw at practice. I see him carrying his fakes out. I see his footwork. He's a pocket passer, but when pressured, he can get out of the pocket. So that you have to build off of that. So the number one premium paramount thing I saw that made me feel good for my anxiety as a Packer fan, ball handling is very good.
Okay.
Very, very good. Very good.
Yeah. My impression was very solid on balls down the middle.
Okay. You said accuracy down the middle?
Yeah, accuracy down the
What
middle.
was he not so
slant
accurate on the
routes,
field?
Deep balls. We saw that a lot during training camp, that he just wouldn't quite air it out the way he could. Like, it's really hard, I think, to overthrow Christian Watson. I mean, there just is nobody, not many receivers faster than him. And I don't think he's figured that out yet, that he cannot overthrow him. And so he's still trying to place the ball a little bit. He got a little better towards the end of camp.
Okay.
And I'm interested to see how that works when the season gets started. But, you know, accuracy was good when he sets up in the pocket. I thought accuracy when he was out of the pocket was a little questionable. Just from, and I'm talking about having seen him for 20-some practices again, and that was my initial impression. So I'm interested to see how that carries out when they play the Bears on Sunday.
You're right about that. There's a couple of times when he was out of the pocket, as most young quarterbacks, don't throw the ball behind you.
Right.
Those are picks. Because everything's moving. If a guy's moving and you want to lead him, but get him down to protect himself.
Right, and then make sure that there's not a guy standing there to pick you off, right?
Yes. He got to know where the windows are, and don't throw it behind you, because it may work 1 out of 10 times, but those are interceptions.
Right.
And that's something against New England that I saw when he moved, he would turn his body back to even if a guy seems open, by the time you throw it, a guy can come in and intercept it. Yeah.
Another thing I liked about him was he's not afraid to go to the check down. So
absolutely,
he seems to go through his progressions: 1, 2, 3. Oh, nobody open. Bam! I'm throwing it out there, and Jones or AJ Dillon, and that's something we didn't see much from Rodgers.
Yeah.
What impact could that have on the offense if he's willing to do that?
Yeah.
Is it good, bad, what?
I think it's phenomenal, because the thing with Matt LaFleur and Stenovich, keep the chains moving. Mm-hmm. Okay, we called a play for 25-yard deep comeback, but 28 standing right over the ball is wide open. Let's just take those 6 yards. Because I think some of the fans were looking at his average, per catch. Sometimes that's not on him. It's on the receiver to get more yards.
Right.
He has to get the ball to the open receiver and survive to see another day. Because if you give it to the other team, forcing it, you're hurting yourself.
How do you think, for instance, a team like the Bears to start out in week 1 is going to play the Packers? So would your number one concern be, all right, let's keep our safeties back and not let Christian Watson get deep on us and Dobbs get deep on us? Or would it be, no, we're putting someone in the box and we are shutting down Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon first and make Jordan Love beat us?
They're going to make Jordan Love. They're going to make Jordan Love beat them.
Okay.
They're going to bring pressure. They had the best offensive line in preseason. I think they gave up 1 sack, maybe a couple of pressures on the whole entire league. So the offensive line is there. If Bakhtiari, who I saw at the Packer Hall of Fame dinner, he looks amazing. If he's playing 90, 80, 90% of the snaps, they're going to have one of the best offensive lines. He has to trust them because they're going to bring pressure. So now you got to switch Dillon to the other side to pick up the free guy. And if one-on-one with Watson, get him the ball. But you got to have side adjust off of that. And I think that's the biggest thing. Because trust me, when you're on the road your first game, that's when you're glad you have yellow pants.
Yeah.
Because you can, it's going to be nerve-wracking because this is the place that Aaron said, I own you. So the Bears fans are looking forward to that. But the experience is Matt LaFleur's first game when we signed him was in Chicago. I think we won 10-3. It's a hostile environment. But at some point, I know that Eberflus is thinking, I'm going to see what kind of quarterback he's going to be. I'm going to light him up early and often. I don't think they'll even care about the run. They just want to shut down big plays. I mean.
That's interesting because I have a feeling that LaFleur's going to come out and run Jones and Dillon like 6 to 8 straight times.
Good.
Just start it out and see if they can stop, if the Bears can stop them. And of course, it depends on how the Bears start out. If they bring that safety down in the box, but I think this is going to be a year he really, really wants to use the running back room. And it didn't surprise me, the rumors about them going after Jonathan Taylor. I don't really doubt that they made a call just to see, because I think this is going to be a running team. And I think, I think that's everything. That's what LaFleur's wanted it to be from the beginning.
Agreed.
And then everything's play action off of that.
Yeah.
So that'll be, I think last year I had predicted what the very first play of the year would be.
Oh, okay.
On
try
our
this time?
podcast, I said it was going to be a deep ball to Christian Watson.
Christian Watson. Okay.
And this year, I think it's going to be an Aaron Jones run. I just think it's going to be
I hope so. Aaron Jones on my fantasy team.
Yeah, I just think they're going to run like 6 straight times. So
but you know what's going to happen if they do that? People are going to say, well, you just don't trust this quarterback.
Right.
But I got 2 good running backs. I want to utilize them.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. But I think that the Bears, they'd be okay if they just ran the ball. They just don't want Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs catching a 65-yarder and just sets our crowd off, and we just take over.
Right.
Now they got to play them back and be scared.
But let's jump over to the defense, because that's a subject that, I think everybody
should be no anxiety.
Yeah, there shouldn't be, but there is.
But there is.
There's tons of it.
Yes.
And, I think most of it is because we never really know who they're going to be or what, are they going to make the most use of their talent? And let's face it, they got some talent.
Yes. And I think that's the reason why I tell people all the time, I've never seen a bumper sticker that says offense wins championships. It always says defense wins championships. So here's your time to prove it, really. I mean, because it's widely known they have a lot of first-round picks on defense, not a lot on offense. I get it. But to me, that's where all the experience is on defense. You got probably maybe I'm biased, but nephew, 23, Jair is one of the top corners, if not top corner in the league. Stokes is going to be out for 4 or 5 weeks. So 29, you got to be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
Your safeties, people are going to attack the safeties.
Mm-hmm.
If you got Ford and 26, Savage starting, assuming I don't know, they're going to test them. But up front, I feel good about the linebackers. 59 to me is one of the smartest linebackers in the league. 7 was one of the top rookies. Up front, there's your strength.
Yeah.
There's your strength. But again, when you go dime and nickel, you have to tackle the Bears, because Justin Fields will pull the ball down, Tom, and will take off running.
Yeah. I think that there's some question mark with that. I think guys like Preston Smith and Kenny Clark are very experienced in that aspect.
Yes.
I think Rashawn Gary is going to be playing with steam coming out of his ears.
So you think they'll activate him?
Oh, yeah,
He's
he'll
activated?
play. He'll play.
Oh, boy.
But I think they're going to play action him or try to get him upfield. So Fields, because he's just going to be like out of his mind, kind of fired up to play because it's been so long.
That's true. That's true.
And TJ Slayton's a new guy, and Devontae Wyatt is a new guy too.
Yeah. I'm excited for Wyatt.
Really talented guys who can get upfield, but can't get suckered. They can't.
Yeah.
They got to be careful with Fields. So while there's this ton of talent, they got to figure out, can they follow Joe Barry's game plan? Is Joe Barry's game plan any good? We'll find out.
And I get criticized a lot for this, but I'm a big Joe Barry guy, and I'll tell you why. I'll try to explain it as best I can. If you're a young man sitting in a meeting room thinking you're forgotten, you gotta love Joe Barry. He has plans just for you. So if you're 90, you're a first-round pick, everybody wants you to start, and you may not, but he has a plan just for you. He has a plan just for 55. He has a plan just for 47. Mm-hmm. When you go in, you remember Keith McKenzie? Mm-hmm. All he did was go in on third down and go after the quarterback.
Right.
That's his game plan. So the obvious thing is that you could spy Justin Fields with number 7 and feel good about it. So everybody, the rotation, that's what Dean Lowry was pretty good. He was a good rotation guy to come in because he's a bigger guy, bat down passes. But each guy in the system have whatever you're good at, they're going to put you in position to do that. That's why I'm a Joe Barry guy.
I mean, Chicago has much better talent offense. DJ Moore is now their top wide receiver.
Yeah.
He can fly,
Yes.
you know, really
Yes.
good player. Cole Kmet is a really good tight end.
He's big, too.
Yeah, they got
What
Tanyan,
they
they
got?
got Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
It you know, a lot of this will depend on how they handle Justin Fields. But the one thing that really struck me about their special teams, so they went very young, and they are very young.
Yes.
They've got 15 rookies on this roster, which is a lot.
Including undrafted.
Yes. But if you look at their special teams, like if they were going to line up tomorrow, their special teams would include Dallin Levitt, veteran, Rudy Ford, veteran, Rasul Douglas, veteran, Eric Wilson, veteran, Justin Hollins, veteran, Tariq Carpenter, second-year guy. I'm missing some.
Like 51, too.
The new guy they just picked up from Buffalo will probably be in there. He's a third or fourth year guy. I mean, they are not the old Ted Thompson special teams where everybody was an undrafted rookie.
Yeah, I got your point.
They may be young, but they've really solidified their special teams. A lot of guys are coming back for a second year under Bisaccia. So that's something I think will be interesting to watch.
Well, it'll also be interesting to see who they deactivate, because I don't think they'll carry 3 backs.
No.
So
Manuel Wilson will probably be out.
He'd probably be deactivated. I don't know, because it depends on how many tight ends.
I don't know if Lucas Van Ness will be up the very first game. I mean, you know, you got. Maybe because Gary's not going to play every snap, but you got Preston Smith.
55 is going to play.
Gary. Kingsley Enagbari.
He
was playing great in the preseason. Justin Hollins is a good pass rusher, and Joe Barry loves him. So
57 looks really good, man.
I mean, he's not going to be really active, but Brent Cox is he is a monster.
Oh, boy.
That guy is big, strong, fast, and how he didn't get, well, we know why he didn't get drafted, because he was a knucklehead in college.
Well, we all were. Mid-league, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, he is an interesting dude.
He's going to be a problem.
So before we,
like those guys,
get towards the end, I wanted to address, I think if you recall your guys' run to the Super Bowl, you had parts. You had yourself, you had Reggie, you had Brett. And then in '95, you had that draft that had Craig Newsome.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Williams.
Yes.
Antonio Freeman.
Yes.
William Henderson. Travis Jervey.
Was Brooks before that?
Brooks was before that.
Yeah, okay.
Travis Jervey. And I wonder,
Travis Jervey was amazing.
Wasn't that sort of like the class that just put you over the top into the Super Bowl realm? Because if you think about it, those are all starters in some way or another. Adam Timmerman might have been in that group too.
Oh, that's another one.
So, that was like, okay, we're here. But doesn't that sometimes take just like a draft class to push you up? And I wonder if last year's draft class has 5 starters in it now. I mean, think about it. Wyatt, Walker, Zach Tom is a starter. Kingsley Enagbari is in that class. Romeo Dobbs is in that class. Christian Watson is in that class. I mean, you're talking about 6, 7 guys, and they're in their second year. Can they be the impetus to push them? And that's what I think they're counting on. That's an amazing question.
Yeah, you're right about that. We'll hold on to this, because that happened. You should write about it.
Yeah, well, I am, and I'm wondering what your thought is on that 90.
No, you're spot on.
Do you recall what those guys did for you?
Absolutely. It was every position that we were wanting to upgrade. Travis Jervey was a Pro Bowler.
Right.
And they were unselfish. And they were role players to say, listen, we can be good, but it got to be a collective effort to do what the all-pros can't do. Special teams and backups. When a guy comes in there, you got to be ready to go. Antonio Freeman was one of the best return guys at Virginia Tech.
His first year, and his first year he's a good returner.
Yes.
And his second year, he's borderline MVP of the Super Bowl.
The guy was truly amazing. And then you sprinkle in a few free agents, but you're right about the draft class, because without that draft class, it would be difficult to win a lot of these difficult games.
You didn't have a corner.
Not a shutdown, get in your face, physical corner.
Big time guy who could complement Doug
that can tackle.
And that made all the difference in the world to your secondary. You know? Brian Williams was just, your linebackers had gotten thinned out, and he's just, a tackling machine.
Yeah, he was our wheel linebacker. He was our dime linebacker, wore 51, probably one of the smartest players ever been around, because he knew every position.
Yeah.
And but coming in and working with people like Kuntz, and you look off and you see him over there talking, or you would see Brett over there talking to Antonio. Hey, listen, when we do this particular route, if you got man-to-man, what do you want it, on your back hip? You want it on your number, or you want it high and outside? That means a veteran counting on a young guy.
Yeah.
And that's what really propelled us to be for that stretch. For 3 years, we dominated.
Yeah.
Just special teams, number one, defense, number one, and offense, number one in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And of course, you have to have a base for
most
that
definitely.
Class. You can't win it just on one class. But
when your draft grows up that quick, that's amazing.
And then you look at this year's class, and you wonder if he did it again. We'll see. But Luke Musgrave
going to be a problem.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft looks like he's going to be a problem.
See, that made them being able to move, which I had said, Josiah DeGore, if they move into fullback, I think he'll be a Pro Bowl fullback. Kind of like the kid up in San Francisco.
Yeah.
You got to be able to U-check. You got to do everything.
Right.
But if you can move him, because you had the injury to 84, that took away one of your tight ends.
Yeah.
So, if you got two big, strong tight ends that can, if you ever heard Matt LaFleur talk, he loves tight ends.
Yeah.
Other than his wife and his kids and me, I'm his favorite player. He loves tight ends.
Yeah.
So if they're going to be some babies out there.
Right.
But if you could hit, which Gutekunst has done a great job at.
A lot of the veteran guys were really raving about him to me. The defensive guys, they kept bringing up 88.
Yes.
And even Elton Jenkins said that when he got in that big fight in Cincinnati, he said, he put this block on a guy because he wanted to see Musgrave, what he could do with the ball on the screen.
Yes.
He's like, I want to see that guy, have every chance to run, because I like watching him play.
Oh, he run end arounds, reverses. He can throw it.
He's just fast, and he can get down the field. And I don't think they've had anybody like that since maybe Finley.
Yeah.
And he's got to stay healthy. He's got to block. There's a lot of things to it.
Yes.
But, they also picked up those two defensive linemen, Brooks and Wilton. And, man, they weren't bad either. You know? If this group can't get them there, then they're not going, because this is the basis of his team building, and they sold out on the salary cap. So all they can have is rookies now, they're so mortgaged on
You
the
think
salary
that
cap.
what it was with the punter? It's just going away?
No.
Whelan got a big leg. You just say, let's just go to him?
I think to some degree they said, okay, we really like this guy.
Yeah.
O'Donnell's going to help us better this year. But Whelan over the next 5 years is going to help us more than O'Donnell, and so we'll take the hit this year because we don't know if we're going to the Super Bowl. To me, those were the inner discussions that were going on, the ones they would never tell us.
Yeah.
Like any doubt that they're going to the Super Bowl, but they have to think long term too.
Yeah. But the problem is the holding.
It's going to be an issue
goals.
this year. It's going to be, Pat O'Donnell could hold like nobody in the league, and he knew kickers, knew, when the tilt needed to be a little bit, when the wind was blowing a certain way. Whelan's good, solid holder, but he's not going to offer that extra, support for the kicker. So they'll just go through it. So
does that add extra anxiety with a rookie kicker and the holder that,
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. LaFleur may go for a lot of them inside.
Maybe, but to me, they're trying to build a young nucleus that can last for a good 5 years and make a run.
It's not unprecedented having a rookie. Remember Mason Crosby, his first kick, I think it was against Philly, nailed it. And
Ryan Longwell, they took off the scrappy, and
Longwell was a great kicker
after Brett Conway got hurt.
Exactly, and one of my best friends, Craig Hendrick.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he let me use his 60-degree wedge, and I forgot to give it back to him. I forgot.
I'm going to tell him, too.
He knows. He actually gave it to me, but no, he didn't really give it to me. I forgot to give it. Oh, you can keep it. But he was one of my best friends because he would tell me, he was one of the best punters.
Yeah.
Where do you want it? I want it inside the 20, but I want you to put it on the 5 and the drawbacks and go out of bounds at the 12. He was very good at that.
Yeah, he was.
So, but one of my favorite coaches, Versace, the special team coach, he's on top of it. He is the best return guy in the league.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some issues because he's going to coach them hard.
Yeah.
Kickers.
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah,
going to coach them
does.
hard. And the long snappers. That group, because he knows, because he'll be a head coach in a couple of years. If this group can do some good things, he's definitely going to be a head coach.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I think so. I think he's going to get another shot.
But it'll be fun. But I tell most Packer fans, just have an open mind and, and just see what happens.
And so now it is that time for you to make your pick.
Well,
and this year I've convinced Mr. Bill Schultz, our producer, that we're going to keep your record because I'm just sick of you acting like
America.
Really
let me tell you what he's talking about.
So he's going to pick his game, and next week we'll have the result.
He thinks I'm going to pick the Packers all 17 weeks.
18 on the bye. You're going to pick them on the bye too. So.
But I'm going to say, stay tuned for that. But it could be an ugly game. It could be an ugly game. Two inexperienced quarterbacks. Also, Justin Fields played his way into it, and Jordan Love had to wait. So it's like, what side do you go on? You just, do you play him or do you let him wait and watch?
Yeah.
I think the Packers will win like 23-19 or something.
Okay.
And people say, how did they get to 19? I don't know. Figure it out. But this would be a big win. This would be a big win for Love. It really would be.
See, and I'm going to...
Well, do your prediction on your blog.
Okay, but I'm going to push back a little bit.
Don't be pushing back. Bill, this is my time.
It's not about the score. It's about what this game means. I think the game in Week 18 will mean a lot more. Like, I think this game will be for the fans. It'll be like Bears fans if they win.
So you saying this game don't mean nothing?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think it means all that much.
Do you know this is the oldest rivalry?
Scheme of things, Week 1 in this, each team will say, the team that won will say, great, we got ourselves a division win. The fans will say, we're going to the Super Bowl.
No,
and then the loser will say, well, it's just one division game. And their fans will say, we're done. Fire LaFleur. Get rid of everybody. Jordan Love's a failure. Play Sean Clifford. So I call it the overreaction game.
Here's why I disagree.
Okay.
The last time you saw the Packers, you lost to Detroit. You have a lot of fans who are still Rodgers fans. So, and two things can be true. You could be a Rodgers fan and still want Jordan Love to succeed. But I think the next game you play, and I'm glad it's on the road, to beat your rivalry, to let them know this how it's going to be for the next 15 years. Mm-hmm. We've been beating y'all for a lot of years. That first game, now had the team came back, like Rodgers had came back, you may be right. Yeah, it's not that long season. But no, it's two things. On the job training, and they're on a fast track to get the doubt out of everybody's head to say this is not a rebuild. Okay. We can beat teams like Chicago. So I think it's a big game. Matter of fact, I'm having a watch party with Jimbo Covert of the Bears down in Kenosha at the Broad Stop.
All right.
We're having a big watch party. And you can't tell the fans in Racine and Kenosha that this is a big game for them. The Bears and the Packers playing opening week is a big deal. So all that media stuff you just said, matter of fact, we're going to edit that out, Bill. Don't even play that, because I don't even need that for my anxiety.
Are you done?
Yeah. Speaking of anxiety and mental health, I'm having my mental health summit October 28th at the Beard Center here in Milwaukee. It's free for kids, and we're basically going to have a lot of events for them. The best thing for mental health, Tom, is comedy. We're going to have one of my good friends, Charlie Barons, is going to be there. We're going to have motivational messages from Hall of Famers. You know, therapists are going to be there. We're going to have water for kids to drink, not soda and juice, water, but it's Leap into Wellness. And if you go to LeRoyButlerInc.com, please register. And I'm proud of it because I get therapy myself to let kids know that we're going to give them some tools to deal with some of the things they're going through, because suicide, crime, and things of that nature, just at the start of something to say every year moving forward, we're going to have something for the kids in the fall to really home in on what's going on, the kids from 13 to 17. So some of my partners are the City of Milwaukee, Marcus Theaters. If you go to the theaters now, you'll see me and Greg Marcus. We come on and do a PSA about it. The Pro Football Hall of Fame was able to be a partner. The Green Bay Packers, of course. And we got so many more partners. Anthem, Blue Cross Blue Shields of Milwaukee. And again, if you want to be a part of it, just go to LeRoyButlerInc.com. We need more sponsors and more partners to really home in on the whole mental health part of it. I have Butler versus bullying. That's another thing. But the kids will get a chance to, Tom, to really say what's going on with them, and just more than anything, have fun. So I think the biggest thing right now is some kids think, well, parents don't care or people don't care, but that's not true. So I just appreciate that. So that's one of the things. And I want to thank Pick and Save, of course. Pick and Save is going to donate a lot of water, but they've always been a great sponsor of this show. And I want Statewide Fencing is another one. My guy, statewidefencing.com. You can go there. And the last one would be MilwaukeeWindows.com, MilwaukeeWindowsGuys.com. They're one of my other sponsors for the Leaping into Wellness thing. So I'm very excited. So, and we want to thank the fans. We had tons of views last year. Without you, we couldn't do the show. So I want to thank the fans for being a part of it.
Right. And so we will see you after the Bears game. Please don't forget to join us. Don't forget to check in on JS Online and Packers News
Where's
for
your
all
prediction?
our coverage. That doesn't come out till Friday. So,
till Friday?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I can't give you that right now.
I kind of know.
Privileged
You'll be blogging during the game?
But since you have a subscription, you'll be able to get it.
Yes.
So please do.
If
you don't have a subscription, and
it's very affordable. Everybody has one.
Yeah. And check in with my live blog on Sunday.
Yes.
For Mr. Butler, I'm Tom. We will see you next week.